Taurus, the bull. Here's your reading for August 15th to the 31st. As a reminder, guys, this is a general reading, so please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Also, remember to watch your sun, moon, and rising sign. And from those videos, or those readings, also take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Put the pieces together and apply it to your unique situation. If you would like to book a private reading, please see the description box where there is a link available and information upon how to obtain a private reading. And also, when you book a private reading, everything in terms of the spreads and the messages will and are guaranteed to resonate with your unique situation. Also, guys, I normally use Skype for my private readings, or I should say for your guys' private readings. I'm also on Facebook as well now, so we can use Facebook Video Messenger as well. It's another option. Also, if you would like to skip the rest of the intro and the shuffling and things of that nature, please see the comments section of this video for a timestamp pinned comment by me, Intuitive Perceptions, with a timestamp there to skip everything in terms of the intro and the shuffling and things like that, to get straight into the reading as to how you come into the reading, the card, okay? Let's go ahead and bless the deck, and then we'll get started. Guardian angels of love and light, ancestors lost and known in the seas of time, please intercede into this reading to provide Taurus with the clarity and direction as to which he or she seeks, and please grant me, the reader, the objectivity to read the cards and relay every single message as they're meant to be. Okay, Taurus. Nice. We're coming into the reading with the Hermit. Okay, Taurus, when I see your spread here, there's something very interesting in your spread. Let me just go over the cards a little bit. Okay, so over here on this side, I mean, wanting to stay in a certain situation. And you really made this decision, you know, given that it's eight of Pentacles comes after the 7, which is making a decision based upon all your other, you know, based upon your choices, right? And then molding that situation to what you want it to be. And it's upright, so it could be in a successful manner. Looking like it is with the Queen of Swords here. I mean, that's a good combination. Seeing how constant communication and effective communication can actually work, and it really does. Being stuck in the past a little bit, you know, wanting to revisit the past a lot, being involved in the past a lot. I mean, I feel like you're trying to hold on here, and you really are trying to work the situation to what you want it to be. But why are you in the past, though? See, it'd be different if this was upright, you know, then I would say, okay, it's a little bit different. There's a different tone to it. But there's some hindrance here. There's a reason as to why we're holding on. Maybe is it because there's regret maybe somewhere in here? Do you regret what kind of happened to us or what went on? The Hermit's here, how you came into the reading, I mean, seeking enlightenment, seeking understanding. Are we seeking how to understand this? This could be positive and negative. Not really sure. Let's move over here. Now, why do we feel like we have despair over this issue? We're fighting for something we want. And we're almost there. Cool. I mean, everything that you have fought for is now coming, you know, to the fore. just hold on a little bit longer. But why aren't you proud, Taurus? Like, why don't you feel like you can stand in your truth, or you can call this a conviction? Are we fighting for the wrong thing here? We're fighting, Taurus, for something that isn't correct. And you're coming into the reading as a hermit. Now, if you were seeking answers, enlightenment, the truth, and all of the above, you wouldn't necessarily be in this predicament. Now, you could be doing that because you're trying to find a way out of this predicament, right? But that's not what I'm seeing. That's not what I'm getting from here. It seems, Taurus, like the clarifier cards, right? Excuse me, for the base cards appear. They're not necessarily bad cards at all. Or they don't signify. Let's say it like this. Standing alone, they're great cards. I mean, they're not really bad. They don't have anything really injurious about it. From my perspective, it looks fine. But the base cards are just they completely contradict the clarifier cards. Now, these two cards right here at the bottom are basically the outcome, or I like to call them sometimes they sum it up, or they have a direct relationship between the base card and the outcome. Remember, two cards with the same number. We have a decision to make. So I feel here, Taurus, we're going to have to decide. Do we want to stay, or do we want to stay? Or do we want to, I want to say go, but do we want to stay, or do we want to stay? If we're going to stay, Taurus, we can't keep thinking about the past a lot. Yes, it can remind us of something, of course, or can keep us focused, right? But that doesn't make sense. This is completely contradicting each other. There's a little bit of delusion kind of going on here. You don't want to walk away from the situation. You don't feel like it's necessary. You just can't. But you're thinking about the past a lot. So this seems to me like regret, which so happens to be the base card here, regret. But we're fighting hard because it was worth it, but then we don't feel proud, or we don't feel like we're gaining the recognition from our partner, from the situation, from the circumstance, whatever it may be for you. You see what I'm saying? But what's also interesting, Taurus, is if you notice there's another 6 here. Whenever we have 3 6s in a spread, I look at it as, let's add the numbers up. 18, right? Now, if we go to the major arcana, number 18 is the moon card. And since these are all in reverse, let's just say that it's the moon card reversed. The moon card reversed, Taurus, is deception indicated. If we know that someone is lying to us because, it's been indicated, or whether this is happening to you, or this is going on for you, I'm sorry, either to you or from you, general reading, apply it. But moon card in reverse, like I said, deception indicated. Why are we fighting so hard? And why do we feel like we're almost there? Deception has been indicated. We should feel like the 5 of Cups here, in despair. You should feel hopeless, you know? That makes sense. But why don't you want to walk away? Why don't you feel like it's necessary? If it's bringing you nothing but dwelling on the past, revisiting it a lot, but when the Six of Cups is in reverse, it's usually with a negative connotation attached to it. There's staying in the past, you know? If you were staying in the past, Taurus, you wouldn't create your future like the Eight of Pentacles here. They just don't add up, right? So, when the Moon card is not in reverse, it just means information being withheld or deception in general. It's also representative of Pisces. This has never happened in a reading before to me, but maybe you're dealing with the Pisces. Could be dealing with a Virgo. Possibly a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. I feel, Taurus, like the deception has been indicated. It has been indicated by you. You're the one that indicated it. But Taurus, like, I must ask you, like, who's the culprit? Could be the Virgo. I don't think so. I'm getting a strong feeling that this is, this is how you came to the reading. So I'm going to say this is your energy here. After all, you are an earth sign. And I mean, Virgo, earth, not necessarily the Hermit has to completely be Virgo. But, you understand what I'm saying, the comparison. I believe, Taurus, it's you. You have realized what you're doing and what you're accepting. What have you accepted, though? I'm also kind of getting to Taurus. We have the Six of Swords, Six of Cups, Six of Wands. They're all in reverse. We've established this, right? There's only one more six that's truly missing. Because we already have, we have Swords, Cups, and Wands. The Six of Pentacles is missing. Which is the card of giving. Which is the card of being charitable. I feel also like the card is missing for a specific reason, and that's why these are all in reverse. When you have it's like the Magician card. When you have all the elements, you have all the tools that's necessary. When one is missing in terms of, the elements, and you're, in this case, the Six of Pentacles. I feel like when you gain that, things would be a lot different, because then it creates balance. Balance in all sorts of ways. Balance in terms of communication, balance in terms of the emotions, balance in terms of creativity, and also balance in terms of home and, materialistic, tangible items. Now, we need you need to realize, Taurus, like, we're not giving. But who we're not giving to? Ourselves? No? Isn't it funny? 6, 6, and 6, 18 moon card. And we said in reverse as well. Deception indicated. Now, are we realizing, Taurus, that you're not giving to yourself? You're giving to the wrong people, because this is basically what it's saying. Given that I was telling you how it's a contradiction, right? And it's also very interesting how the Hermit card is here. And this is number 9, right? What else is 9 in this deck? Or, I'm sorry, this deck. In this spread. The Nine of Wands. I mean, since we're comparing, minor arcana to major, I mean, might as well, right? You're almost there, Taurus. I really think you are. You're almost there to the enlightenment. You're almost there to realize, what you're getting versus what you're worth. You're worth a lot more, Taurus. What's also interesting, the Eight of Wands here. The Eight of Wands signifies haste, right? Not necessarily bad haste. It's a lot of energy. But the Eight of Wands reminds us that if we do things too fast, if we make decisions too fast, we can run into some problems because we miss the small details. Maybe like the small details of the Six of Pentacles, of giving, but giving to yourself. Missing the small details of, everything that's going on. It's also a little bit funny, too, how the small details, it's kind of like Virgo. They don't miss the small details. Traditionally, that's a Virgo trait, where they're good at handling the small details and putting things together. But as a fellow Virgo sun myself, I can say that sometimes when we focus on the details a little bit too much, it can tend to adversely affect us as well. So I know what I'm kind of saying right now. I'm going back and forth a little bit. Kind of like this energy here. What I'm saying towards is that I feel like you're putting too much emphasis or looking at the small details for the other person or for the situation or the circumstance. That's kind of what's going on, I feel here. Could be dealing with the Scorpio maybe. So we have the Death card here and Judgment. So yeah. I feel a shift coming, Taurus. A good one, not a bad one. Because when we start to give to ourselves, Taurus, like the Six of Pentacles, because that card could represent giving to ourselves as well. It doesn't necessarily have to mean other people. Being charitable to yourself, is when the transformation will come and when you'll make better judgment, on what you deserve and what you should get. So, given, isn't it also funny how there wasn't really many major arcana cards here, per se? No, not at all, because court, I'm sorry. minor, court, minor, then minor. And then the only major arcana is here. And the major arcana has to do with what we're doing as an individual in terms of the environment. What are we portraying? What are we doing? What are the traits that we're carrying as to contributing to the situation or to the relationship, to whatever the case may be? The Enlightenment was the only one here, and it was upright, thank God, right? But then all of a sudden, the major arcana comes flying out and it's upright. They're all upright. This normally would be the last, advice card that I would pull. Protecting your stability. Because all of this is not protecting your stability, what first came up in the spread. You need to protect it, Taurus, but you need to believe that what you have to protect is actually worth it. That includes seeking the reason as to why. You're doing it for yourself, Taurus. You're going to have to do it. And that includes walking into the unknown. That includes having to walk away. This is wanting to walk away, planning it, and actually kind of carrying it out. This is holding on to regret. Don't you not want to feel like that anymore? Because if you stay in this cycle, Taurus, it's how you're going to feel. But you won't feel like that eventually if you seek it out. If you seek out the reasons as to why. Look, Taurus. Wheel of Fortune upright. The Star upright. Oh, you could be dealing with an Aries. You could be dealing with possibly an Aquarius now. Possibly a Sagittarius. But Taurus, you just see what just happened. All of your major arcana were upright. Or came out upright. You have to decide, Taurus, when enough is enough. And I think that that's what God and Spirit's trying to tell you here. Enough's enough already. You're compromising your security, which does not fly with you. When other people do that to you, which in turn this person or these people are, but you're failing to see it. Enlightenment, Yeah, even this card here, the Two of Swords, coming out of an impasse. Also, the Two of Swords in reverse can mean stuck between a rock and a hard place a little bit. Can't decide what to do a little bit. It's like battling with yourself. It's just, Taurus, like, that was crazy. That was underneath, that this is the bottom of the deck. And also, Taurus, when we have this many major arcanas in our readings in general, when they're upright, that's a good thing, but, it just also depends upon the surrounding cards. But, when you seek the enlightenment, Taurus, look what comes to follow. This is beautiful. You come out of that impasse, right? You come out of that struggle. When you seek the enlightenment, look what happens. You transform. You have better judgment. You won't make the same mistake again. Because you protected yourself and what you needed in your stability. Then the universe and God is going to see that. You'll make changes. And then everything will follow suit because they'll be in support of you. And then what do you have? The hope. The reason to carry on. The vulnerability that must come before you can have the hope. And the hope at last. You're trying to be vulnerable with yourself. And it's funny too because this is a vulnerable person as well. He just kind of does it in solace. By himself. And that's okay. It's crazy, Taurus. So far, you're the only one that I pulled this many cards for, but that's crazy. Like crazy, like how it worked out, Okay, let's pull a Jesus card, see what's going on. Okay. Given it shall be given unto you. Luke 6:38. Ask and it shall be given to you. Matthew 7:7. See, Taurus, like give, right? Why are we giving to the wrong person? And why are we going back and forth with it like it's something to decide? You have to give to yourself, Taurus. Because when you do give, it will be given to you. But it will be given to you accordingly. And all you have to do is ask God, your higher power, spirit, what you need. Because when you ask, right, Look what all popped out, all those major arcanas. I just want to flip this over right here. Yep. Let your heart not be troubled, or let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid, Taurus. John 14:27. See, Taurus, fear. And look, it's funny how it was around the Emperor. That's crazy. He's not fearful at all. Before this, there's fear, yes. But after, no. This is not a fearful man or a woman. It doesn't have to be a certain sex, just its essence, you know. But look, it just takes a little bit of bravery. That's it. I'm not saying you don't have it. But you may need to find it, Taurus, you know? You may need to find it. And it's okay. Because you're almost there. You are. Fire energy, fire energy. Put it into play, okay? And make sure that you have it and you can do it. You can find it. Just gonna have to figure some things out, okay? All right, Taurus. That was a really good reading. It started off a little shaky, but it's okay. Remember, and also your moon, the moon card I forgot to mention. The moon card is all about emotions as well, Taurus. It's represented by Pisces. And Pisces is the 12th house, you know, the house of the end. See, the 12th house is a very karmic house. It's also a very spiritual house. It's everything all together through all the houses. What have we done throughout all the houses, right? Just in general, generally speaking. What have you done from the first house to the 11th house? That concludes the 12th house in a sense, you know. Don't let there be fear in the 12th house. And don't let fear in all the other houses prevent you from reaching your spirituality or from reaching happiness. Wow, okay. All right, Taurus, I'll let you go, but check out Luke 6, John 14, and Matthew 7. There'll be something there for you. Okay? All right, Taurus, see you in September or any other random video I put out. All right, we'll see you, Taurus. Double